This episode is brought to you by Kalona Brewing Company. If you live in Eastern Iowa, make sure to swing by Kalona Brewing Company's tap room. Amazing food and amazing craft beer. If you live in Central Iowa or in the Midwest, swing by your local supermarket and see if they carry the Kalona Brewing Company line of beer. And also swing by your local restaurants, local bars, see if they have Kalona Brewing Companies on tap. If not, make sure you guys request it. I kid you not, you won't regret that. Other than that, enjoy this episode, guys. Kind of loud. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beer Fish Fanatics. This is Grandy with Ma Pop Fishing. We got
Kit with the Fishing Kit YouTube channel here.
I guess I can get a little closer to Kit there. Oh, there we go. Hold on. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is not the casting couch again.
It's a couch.
It's a couch. All right.
Well, sort of a couch.
Yeah. But today I brought this is my wife's lunch bag. I couldn't grab the other cooler in town. I was kind of in a rush, but I brought a little care package from Kalona Brewing Company. So
nice.
I don't know. I'll let you pick which one. We can decide what we want to do. I'll let you pick. What are you thinking?
Cherry Belgian style.
Try that one. It's pretty good. All right, I'll do the other one.
You're like, here, you choose, and then you choose.
I know.
I
chose for you. Sorry, man. I don't think you've ever had that, so
I don't think I have.
Well, there you go. I've had it already. So, shout out to Kalona Brewing Company. I'm drinking the Good Day Sunshine today on this episode. This honey wheat ale. I've had it before, but it's a good beer. But I know he hasn't had that one, so I figured.
Yeah, this is the Red Rover Cherry Belgian style ale. Been having a lot of Belgian styles lately.
I know. That's what we're saying. This one I was going to read something, but there's nothing marked on it. It's just a Good Day Sunshine. You ever say anything?
Originally brewed in honor of the Kalona Volunteer Fire Department, this Belgian pours with a light red glow and delivers a smooth, malty backbone. The natural sweet cherry fruit adds the extra goodness that all volunteers possess.
There you go.
Oh, so it's like in honor of the fire department up there, huh?
Yeah, Red Rover. I think that kind of refers to.
Interesting.
This is the one I'm drinking. The honey wheat ale is 5.1% alcohol content. So, cheers, guys.
Oh, this one's 6.3 for those that care.
And shout out to Kalona Brewing and also the Iowa Brew was it Brewers Guild? Sorry, they did invite us to go back out to the Iowa Craft Beer Festival. However, Fishing Kit and myself are going to be on a fishing trip. So we kind of planned that actually probably since last year. So we had to decline this year of attending there, which it was kind of sad, but we told them next year for sure we'll be there. But shout out to them because they wanted us to be there again. They said that I think a lot of people kind of had a good time seeing two idiots who were just sitting there drinking beer,
which was surprising. I was surprised they wanted us back.
Yeah.
We were just kind of there. I felt like
they asked you guys one another because I think it was it was kind of cool. It's a little bit different because I'm assuming people are busy seeing other people pour beer for them and then come to our table and we're like drinking beer. You know what I mean?
Right. It was something different, I guess.
For sure. But we'll try for sure. Next year, I would love to get out there. It was a fun time. So we got to make sure we got to try plan ahead next year better, I guess.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have 3,000 subs by this time next year.
So you guys still got to get it. I got to get him to 2,000, man. That way I can slam or shotgun whatever the hell he wants. But then that way I force him to pay up the 2 that he owes me.
I'll keep talking about these 2 beers. I don't know what he's talking about.
Come on, dude. You gotta pay up, man.
You guys let me know.
So, but this week I kind of wanted to talk to this guy. We're in person today. I want to talk a little bit about his setup and everything because right now, we were just kind of chit-chatting the past week. He's been doing pretty good in regards to the panfish bite. So
I had
go ahead.
One good day on the panfish bite.
His one good day is like way better than any day I've had in like the last month. So I'd take that if I was you, man.
Yeah, I'm not just dismissing it. I'm just saying it's just one good day.
But I was just thinking, it'd be kind of nice to maybe talk a little bit about his setup. And then I think the previous episode, we touched base a little bit about reel ratios. I'm not sure if everybody knows about that. I only know about that much, like a little bit about that. So I think he knows a little bit more. So I'd like to kind of pick his mind a little bit about that. So let's just start with your setup, man. Let's start with that first. So my panfish setup, it's just to simplify everything. I have two panfish setup, I guess you can say. I have one that's like a fast and light action rod, and then I just have a 1,000 Stratic reel on it.
Damn, Stratic, fancy.
Trust me, if I can go back and change it. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice reel, but that's what I have on my one of my panfish setup. I just use regular braid. I think I use like a 6-pound braid, and then I just tie like a four. I think 4 or 6 pound leader. I have to double check that. I think it's 4 or 5, 6 pound. And then my other setup is just a medium light, and same thing. Well, the reel is it's the same. It's 1,000 Stratic FK. So
damn, we got two fancy pants over
whatever, dude. And then that's it. And then I have the same line and everything, braid. 6 pound, and then I think I tie with the 4 pound leader, and that's just, or no, I leave that one with 6 pound, and the reason being because in case I use that same set, or not same set, but that rod also catches the white bass too, and it kind of, and in case it hits something a little bit bigger too. So that's my setup. I mean, it works for me at least most of the time. It feels like, but that's for my panfish and even light white bass, I would say.
Yeah.
What you got?
I wouldn't even call it my panfish setup. It's just what I had in the truck with me, because I don't really use an ultralight very much, which is typically what most pan fishermen use. I mean, I do have a ultralight setup, but it kind of just sits in the garage most of the time, unless I'm like really dedicated to catching panfish and I want to use a ultralight setup. But this recent trip is usually like my walleye rod. It's a medium light. Yeah, my medium light rod. It's a 6.6 Daiwa something. I'm gonna try to explain the hook keeper. I'm not a big fan of this rod. And it's mainly because of where the hook keeper is.
Oh yeah, you did. Tell me
the little loop where you put your hook on. So I'm used to the hook keeper being above the reel.
This one below?
Yeah, this one is below the reel, like on the handle where you grab, and I can't stand it. Like, it annoys the shit out of me. But I put up with it because other than that, it's a pretty good rod. It's a medium light, fast action. So it's really good for detecting those bites. It's not necessarily a panfish, setup that I got going on. I think I got like a 1,000 size reel on there, which I guess that's a panfish reel. But as far as the line goes, I got 6 pound nanofill, 6 pound fluorocarbon leader. A little, I don't know, I guess that's a little heavy for panfish if you're comparing it to an ultralight. But like I said, I don't really go out of my way to use an ultralight. It's just what I had in my truck, and I just put two jig heads on there, a 16th and a 32. I was fishing some deeper water with current, so I wasn't using super light stuff.
Yeah, I got a my rods are St. Croix Avids. I like them. I mean, but like I was just saying, man, the amount of money I spend on that setup. I mean, other people who probably like, dude, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But to a guy that has a big family, it's a high quality investment in my viewpoint. But I'll be upfront with anybody. That's probably one of the best rods I've ever used.
You're kind of like in that middle high tier, and with high tier I'm talking about like $200-ish dollar range.
For sure.
I'm not talking about the crazy your brother-in-law John $800 rod and reel type of stuff. But I'm talking about like for us normies that have spend a decent amount of money on fishing gear but not super cheap.
I think it makes a difference on the bite detection. I feel because I've had cheaper rods. I forgot. I want to say like a lower end Shimano rod before, and it was okay. It did the job. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like I think this is what it comes down to. The rod and reel that I use, I have more confidence.
I mean, you could have confidence in a $60 combo. Also.
True, but I feel like I don't, or not don't, but at least the ones that I used previously, I didn't feel like man.
But did you use them as much as you do your current setup?
No. So I mean, it's definitely that's a part of it too. Obviously, I didn't use it as much.
See, what was your rod again? Avid.
Right now, I have a St. Croix Avid, the medium light, and the panfish, and I have a regular medium Avid also.
So what's the panfish? What power is that? Just like a light?
It's just a light. It's not an ultra light. It's just a regular light rod.
See, maybe I should just skip the ultralight. I mean, I do have ultralight set up, as I was saying earlier. It's okay, if I'm just going out strictly to target panfish. I do have a bobber rod, a 7-foot Bass Pro, something like a $20 rod with a $20 reel on there that I use for crappie minnows. That's a pretty fun setup. 7 foot long. I cast that bobber, like way out there. But yeah, I don't really use ultralight stuff that much. As far as rods go, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't really actually. It just feels so flimsy. I understand we're fishing for panfish. I get that. It's not nothing big, but I don't know, man. When I use, that's why I went with light, and it's like, man, it's already flimsy as it is. So ultralight, I can just imagine. You know what I mean?
It depends on the action of the rod too.
That's true. Very true. If it's super fast, moderate, I don't know. Is there moderate? Is there a ultralight that's moderate action?
I think most ultralights are like a moderate action.
Are they? I thought they're like usually fast.
I guess it depends on. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really look into ultralight stuff that much because, I'm trying to catch fish that fight.
Well, it fights too on the ultralight. It feels really, really big.
But I'll give him one thing though. I've been catfishing a ton this spring, and it felt good feeling a crappie thump that jig.
Yeah, we were talking. We're in Nesto about that, right?
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I felt it a couple times this year, just not quite enough yet. I just been busy, but I hope this heat wave is coming. I think the weather has changed. The last couple of days has been nice.
Oh, it was like 74 degrees today.
Yeah, and then next week I look at the forecast. It's supposed to be in the 80s.
Like almost 90.
Yeah, so I was
straight
telling you,
to summer.
Yeah, it went straight to summer. Like we probably got like 1 week of spring. It feels like, and then all of a sudden it's going straight to summer. So it's gonna be kind of crazy. But I'm hoping the fish with stripes are gonna go berserk with this heat wave change. Hopefully, because they never really had a run like the wipers or the white bass. I feel like they haven't really had a real run this spring.
Right. Or at least it hasn't started yet. I mean,
yeah,
with those crazy temps next week, I wonder what that's gonna do. Just make them go crazy and just start biting.
Hope so. Hope we can get the kayaks out, man. It's because I was even contemplating. Well, I was busy today, but I was like, man. But then it was windy. Yesterday would have been a good day to take the kayak out, I think.
Yeah, yesterday would have been a good day, but that was a work day.
Yeah.
Less time in the day.
Go figure.
And then, this morning was pretty nice. And then when I got out to the water, it started from like, I didn't really look at it, but I feel it was maybe like 15 mile per hour when I first got there. And by the time I left, it was probably pushing 30.
Dang.
Like 25, 30.
Yeah. That's what I felt like midday. Yeah, it was pretty breezy. But like I said, hopefully, like in central Iowa, Midwest, everywhere in the Midwest, I think it's heating up next week. And hopefully, like I said, the fish, everybody will be able to get their boats out. Everybody gets their kayaks out and get out and fish a little bit more, get a little bit more time on the water. Hopefully I can record something better. I think, so FYI, after listening to this guy, I think I am just going to start releasing videos of like 5 minutes long because, if that's the only time I can go out and that's the only time I catch anything, so be it. It is what it is. I think I might just end up starting doing that. It's just, it's just, what are you going to do?
I think it should be getting easier. I tore up the crappies yesterday.
There you go. And I was gonna go, and then I just got bombarded with stuff to do, and then we had this conversation. I had to cut the lawn too.
I did that today.
Oh, there you go. So I had to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I
But
had to make sure because a few of my buddies are texting me, "Hey, you going fishing?" Blah blah. Like, I was like, "Nope, I gotta mow my lawn." Like, I told myself, I'm not gonna go play until I take care of some chores.
there you go.
But like, if you saw my lawn before today, oh man, I feel I normally hate mowing my lawn. Like, I hate mowing lawn, like lawn work and stuff. But today, after I did it, I actually felt good. I was like, wow, I felt pretty good.
You felt productive.
Yeah, because it was so long and outrageous. I probably had one of the longest lawns in my neighborhood. But my neighbor to my north here is this old this old retired couple. So they're home all the time. Their lawn is immaculate. Like, not one single weed and not one single dead spot. Not one single. It's the best, probably one of the best lawns I've ever seen, and I bet they look over at my lawn every day like, man, this guy. Mine's the opposite. It's patchy. It's got dead spots. It's got weeds, and I have like 3 different flowers growing in my lawn.
You sound like me, dude. This is every neighborhood has that person, and I think I am that person, like you. And then my neighbors behind me is the same way. They cut their lawn literally every other day,
Jeez.
and I'm just like, yeah. I'm not. I don't even compete. I could care less. Like you say, I got weeds. My kids don't care. They love playing with weeds. They look at that dandelion like it's amazing.
Yeah.
They love that shit. So
It's funny, the lady next door, she was like, you got so many flowers in your lawn. I don't know if she's like, you know,
sarcastic.
being passive aggressive with me or what. Because one time she was out there drinking wine, so she was like getting drunk. She's an old lady. I'd say probably 70 or something. Old retired couple. She was like getting drunk and asking me all these questions that, like, I've talked to them and stuff before, but she was getting a little personal, asking me these questions and things. But anyways, back to the lawn. She was like, if you ever, need any help with your lawn, George, her husband, like, George knows a lot, blah blah blah. And she's talking about the flowers in my yard and stuff.
I'm pretty sure you should have said, sure, I'll give him $10 he come and do my lawn for me.
And he mows the other neighbor's lawn too, but that's an even older guy that lives down the street. But I don't know. I think he just likes doing that stuff.
We all have those neighbors, trust me, man. Well,
anyways, that is where we're at in spring. We gotta worry about our lawn and flowers blooming in them and stuff.
So fishing time gets a little. You have to reward yourself. You work to cut your lawn to go fishing.
Right, or otherwise your neighbor's gonna like judge you.
Judge, it's all good, man. So that's pretty much, I guess you could say, our setups for panfish a little bit. The previous episode, I think 1 or 2, we were talking about reel ratios. It was kind of, I wouldn't say it's bugging me, but it was been on my head a little bit because a lot of people, when you're in fishing, I mean, you might be like me, like a super novice or just getting into fishing or whatnot, and you see all these different types of reels and you see these numbers. And, okay, gear ratios, like, all you see is like what, explain to us, Kit, like, what do those ratios mean? There's usually like 3 different numbers. I kind of know, but
is there 3?
I think so.
There probably is 3, but I'll just...
Well, I could be wrong, but I thought there's usually 3.
It might be 3 on some of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, from your knowledge, experience, can you help explain to somebody like me, like, okay, I don't know. Okay, I look at this. Is this supposed to be a fast reel or... Okay, so let's start here. So you got catfish reels and then just our regular, medium light setups that we have, right? Different types of spinning reels. So the gear ratios, what does it mean? What's the difference? What would you use for each setup, I guess you can say? Or what do you use?
I don't really look at gear ratios that much, but generally speaking, if you look at a reel, say like 5.4 to 1 gear ratio. Basically, what that means, one turn with the handle, the spool is spinning 5 times. And generally, because I was talking about, I was using my catfish setups, so I'm using conventional reels, the round bait casters. They're typically lower gear ratios, so you gotta turn the handle more to bring in more line. But that's all dependent on, well, like that doesn't necessarily mean it's bringing in less line than, let's say, another reel that has 6 point whatever to 1. It just all depends on the spool size, the handle length. But generally speaking, like the conventional reels have a lower gear ratio, so you gotta spin that, you gotta crank that handle more to bring in, a certain X amount of line. And I hooked up with the wiper, and I was like, oh man, I can't keep up with this fish. I'm like reeling as fast as I can, and I already knew it wasn't a catfish because catfish don't really fight like that. They don't go off on crazy quick runs like that. I mean, they can, but they don't do it very often. They're usually just head shaking, twirling around. You're kind of fighting against their weight, but opposed to wipers and stuff, they're just freaking darting off, taking runs like crazy. And when I mentioned that, I had a low gear ratio reel, it's because yeah, I'm not bringing in that much line. I gotta crank that handle a lot of times to catch up with that fish. Generally, bait casters are lower gear ratios compared to what's it called, spinning reels, because the diameter of a bait casting reel is kind of small, but like the diameter that of a spinning reel spool, it's a lot bigger. That's why you got that what's it called, that bail or whatever, which kind of wraps the line around. But the bait casters, they got that skinny. The spools are pretty skinny, especially on the conventional reels.
For sure.
Like not the low profiles. I think those are a little bit quicker as far as gear ratios go. You get more bang for your buck per crank, I guess.
So when I first started really getting into fishing, the funny thing was I was watching videos on YouTube, and I see these guys using those bait casters, like, damn, man, they're reeling forever. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be a huge monster. And then they reel in like maybe a 3-pound bass, which is a big bass. But I'm just like, man, they really could. And that totally explains it versus a guy who's using a decent sized spinning reel, reels it in, It feels like he reels it in faster.
It just depends, really. Like I said, you can't just go strictly off of the gear ratios. I know. True. When you were saying there's 3 numbers, like 5.2 to this number to this, I have no idea what that stuff means. I could probably look it up, but I don't have my phone on me.
Yeah.
But it's not like a big thing I pay attention to, because like I said, it depends. Like I don't go out looking at reels and looking at the gear ratios. It doesn't really determine which reel I'm gonna get, unless I'm comparing 2 of the same reels. Let's say there's 2 bait casters, same brand, same model, but like the gear ratios are a little bit different. That's the only time where I would even consider it, because that will actually make a difference between bringing in more line, with the two of the same reels pretty much. But if you're comparing it to like totally different, different brand, let's say a bait caster and a spinning, and you're looking at the gear ratios, it I don't know what it's really telling you. Just like, for that reel, it's bringing, it's turning the spool, 6 times for 1 crank of the handle. Well, that's a totally different, reel setup or whatever. That's a spinning reel with the spools like this big, the handle's this long, versus this conventional reel where the spool is totally different, handle's totally different. So it's going to be bringing, the numbers won't really correlate with each other. Maybe that's where that 3rd number comes in. Like I said, I don't really go off of gear ratio, so I don't really dig too deep into it.
That brings up a question. Like, how much do you research your gear and tackle? Like, when you're gonna go purchase something, or your rods or reels and tackle, because the reason why I asked you this, because you brought that up of when you kind of looking at comparison. Because I know my in-laws, they really research the shit. I mean, they look into magazines, they Google, they go through everything. Me, on the other hand, I just look up a few articles, go look at that, looks like a good reel, how much is it? People, I look at the reviews, and that's about it, and then I go and pick it up. Do you spend a lot of time looking at, all of the stuff in regards to the reels, tackle, and stuff, or do you just like, I'm just gonna go get it, or you know what I mean?
I don't do a lot of research actually when it comes to well, yeah, when it comes to rod and reels, not really. I just, if I can, like rods, I want to feel the rod, and that's like the main thing. That's like what else really matters, how it feels, right?
For sure.
When it comes to a rod,
I would think so. Yeah.
I mean, sure you have your brand preferences and stuff. Like let's say you're a Shimano guy, you just like Shimano's, you go feel a few Shimano rods. And just go with whatever at least for me, whatever I like to feel. As far as reels go, I might do a little bit more research. But even then, I don't really dig too deep.
You dig any deep in tackle? But you don't really.
What do you mean tackle?
Well, I guess
Like,
I guess you really don't, because, and the reason why I say that, because I mean, you don't really use like different types of like jerk bait, or you know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of people, they research like different types of jerk bait, different types of jig heads. You know what I mean? There's different things, but I think you're kind of simplistic. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how much you could dig deep into jig heads, but I guess jerk baits and stuff, because there's so many, and
Crankbaits, jerk baits, spinner baits, and stuff like that.
I just look at it. Deep diver goes this deep at this, with this much line out. That's all I really look at.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering, because I know people. I know my in-laws. Like I said, my in-laws, they read magazines. They spend hours to research all their stuff, and what they purchase and stuff. So
they're like big into mega bass.
Yeah,
especially
Dan.
Dan,
super big into megabass. Well, so is John too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like, as far as those hard baits and stuff. I don't care what the brand is. Whatever's the cheapest. Like if there's two that look the same to me, like a Berkeley or a megabass, I'll go with whatever's cheaper.
Right. It's true. Like $20-$30 or $5.
Right.
When it comes, I'm with you on that. I'm a budget friendly guy that looks the damn same to me, but I don't know. Some people will live and die by, they say, nope, you got to get the mega bass, blah, blah, blah. It's $30, $40. It catches every time.
Yeah, you say that with a lot of stuff, though. Like, for us, brand of reels do matter.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, to our level.
Yeah, but I'm not like a snob about it. I rock Cast King stuff, and I'll rock Shimano stuff all the same.
Well, when I say our level, it's not like we're tournament anglers. It's not like we do it for a living. It's not like we do it for money or anything. We're just doing it for fun and recreational. And I think like it works for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to spend $1,000 on a. I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that, because I know people who do it, and if you can afford it, do it.
Yeah, I think the only good thing about spending money on those pricier reels is not pricier reels. Well, I guess reels and rods.
Yeah.
Like just that more pricey tackle. They usually have a no questions asked replacement policy. You're kind of paying for that. Like if you break your rod, like okay, no questions asked, whatever. Just send it in. We'll send you a new one.
You're spot on that. St. Croix, shout out to them, man. Their customer service is top notch, at least from my experience. I've had 2 broken rods, tip rods. One was I don't know if it was my fault or not. One wasn't my fault, but they have like a $50 whatever, and they replaced it.
Yeah.
This is a $250 rod, and you just fill out the information. I literally got the next rod within pretty quick. So shout out to their customer service. It was good. I
would have been better if it was free replacement.
True.
Maybe up to like a certain amount of time,
yeah,
1 year, no questions asked.
But whatever. They never really like, hey, what happened to it? You just fill out kind of what happened, and then that's about it. And they $50. They took a picture of my broken. I took a picture and sent it to them, They go, cool, broken rod, cool. They sent $50 and sent me a new one. They got me, I had my warranty and everything, and simple. Actually, if you don't even have a warranty, you can still pay the $50 and get it returned. Because I think my warranty did expire.
Yeah.
And they still that's okay. Pay the $50 and they still ship me a brand new $200 some rod.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's the difference between an $80 rod and a $200. Generally speaking, I don't know how many other brands are like that, but
and I think they're what do you call it? Privately owned too.
Are they?
I believe so. I don't think they're publicly traded, so I think they're privately owned. Nice. I mean, like I said, I have never had I've never had anything bad to say about St. Croix rods. I'm pretty sure everybody, like you're saying, there's fanboys of. Oh, you want to change?
Oh, stupid camera.
As I was saying, there's fanboys of every brand and everything, but I've never had any issues with them in regards to their rods. I've never really had any issues with Shimano's and their reels. I was just kind of thinking. I think every single reel I have is Shimano, except for one of my bait casters is a 13 fishing.
13 fishing.
Yeah, and I like it. I wouldn't say I have any issues with it, but most of I'm a Shimano fan in regards to reels for sure.
Man, Shimano's good.
I tried a few others. I mean, I guess you know what? No, I take that back. I've actually had a what do you call
Daiwa?
A Daiwa, and I have a pen for my catfish rod. It's a pen. It's a pen
yeah.
reel. So I have a pen.
A lot of people like pens.
Dude, I'm actually a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like because my other one is what's the other one that Abu Garcia. I have on my other catfish rod. So I have an Abu Garcia and I have a pen. I'm definitely leaning a little bit more towards the pen I like, but I also spend a lot more on the pen than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't. That's like apples and oranges. I can't really say it's that way so much better. Well, I spent probably almost $100 more on that.
Well, you just spent $40 on this apple and $80 on that apple.
There you go. Which one? Yeah, I know what you mean. But exactly so. But no, I definitely, like I said, the customer service has been pretty good on that. I haven't reels. I never really had too big of issues with. Surprisingly, I don't know. Do you ever have like shit? This reel sucks, or I've had it one time, like the ice fishing, and it could have been user error or the weather, but I've only had one issue, or it could have been just the cheapness of me buying the reel too.
Yeah, I mean, like the cheapest reel I ever bought was like $12 or something, some cheap.
Yeah, it was 15. It was an ice reel that I bought for 15.
Yeah, I mean that reel doing pretty good for me still.
What? See, mine sucked.
That's on my noodle rod, for ice fishing. Pretty solid reel, I'd say, for $12.
Interesting.
You know, if it breaks, I'm not losing any sleep over it.
But that's the thing, though. All my rods and reels, I mean, I'm not buying anything anymore because I feel like I only use open water wise. I swear, I feel like the two catfish rods whenever I go catfishing, and then I have maybe about 6 other different rods, but I probably only use 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I don't think I'm ever gonna buy any more rod and reels.
Whatever.
Oh no! I mean,
every time a fisherman says he's not gonna buy something,
I'm not gonna.
He's gonna buy something.
I'm not gonna buy into like an additional rod and reel. I will only buy it if something happens to these older ones. You see what I'm saying? My other ones. So if something breaks or it's not working anymore or it's just then I'll buy something. But if it's still catching fish and still working, I made a promise to myself. All right, no more buying rods or reels.
So like, how many catfish setups do you have? 2 or just 1?
2, because I gave one to my brother-in-law, my nephew.
So you're saying you won't buy another catfish setup?
No, unless I could. Because we do have a 3-rod in Iowa.
We can.
So I probably will buy one just for that. But that would be it.
See?
Until, like I said,
you're not breaking any reels or rods.
Well, I don't. I mean, I have a medium rod that I could technically use as a catfish rod.
Not the same.
It's not the same. You're right.
It's funny. my buddy Matt. You guys seen him in my videos. This is way before I even got like my own catfish setups and stuff. So we were basically just using bass rigs to catch catfish with, and he was talking about getting a catfish setup, and I'm like, what do you use? Why do you need a dedicated catfish rig for? I'm like, he's just like, because I don't remember what his reason was, but I'm like, and I was telling him, like, our bass rods work fine. Why do you need a dedicated catfish setup? And then, the more I was getting more and more into catfishing, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna get a catfish setup, and he was all pissed off.
You were making fun of me, talking all that shit, and now you're gonna get one. Now look at you. How many catfish setups you got now?
Damn.
See,
I want to say I have, shit.
You have quite a bit.
At least 3 medium heavy Whisker Seekers. I want to say maybe 4. I think I have one just for a bobber, and I could be wrong. I have to look. But
and then that catfish and carp one.
Yeah, I got 2 catfish and carp setups. Yeah. So that is at least at least 5. Maybe 6. And I think I want to get another catfish and carp setup.
Jeez.
I'm not saying that. I'm not just saying that because they sponsor our podcast, but I really love catching fish on that setup because it's a lighter setup. The rod, I've caught some pretty decent fish on it so far this year, especially this year. I've been catching catfish. I've been catching wipers on it, and it's just a fun setup to use. Nothing wrong with the medium heavies. You could catch smaller fish and bigger fish just fine, but it's just something else using this lighter setup. It's like I don't even know what kind of how they describe it. It's kind of confusing to me, like a medium heavy light.
Do you use just cut bait on it only, or do you actually use it?
I just use it to dunk baits.
Okay.
And I got 2 setups. I paired them up with Cast King Sharky 3s. They're these bait feeder spinning reels. So that is a really good combo right there. I'm thinking about getting one more combo.
Jeez.
So one more catfish and carp with the Sharky 3 bait feeder. It's such a good setup.
You're right though, because so before Whisker Seeker even sponsored us, you had all your setups for catfish already with them, with Whisker Seeker, and then we're like, I figured, and then I actually used them, and you're right, I really like their rods. It's simple, but yet I like the way when you're fighting the fish, the way it feels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, sure, there's probably other rods that feel similar, but they're local and they're not super expensive either.
For sure. That's you hit it right on, was that you're not breaking the bank. When he's saying he's going to get another, setup, it's not like he's going to spend $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Or even $500. He's going to spend, a decent amount of money for a local company that's got quality.
Yeah. So that rod with that reel is like $120.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Or maybe 140.
That's actually, if people listen to this, they're like, damn, that's freaking dirt cheap.
It's like not super cheap, but it's not like, super expensive either. Wait, you got 2?
No, that's for you.
Oh, that's for you.
What, you want to go get another one?
I'll go get a glass. How about that?
We'll go get.
Well, I still got this one. But yeah, anyways, I've been thinking about getting another lighter catfish setup, another catfish and carp and Cast King combo. It's not like a real combo. It's just the combo that I've made. I paired them up with each other. Don't go like Googling catfish and carp and Cast King combo. It's not a actual combo.
That's funny.
It's just how I got them paired up. It's a pretty good team right there. Those two together.
All right, we'll take a pause. Go get a cup. Let's go.
I still got this beer.
Finish it.
Oh.
You want the cup, or do you want the?
I'll take the cup.
All right.
But yeah, what I was saying earlier. So if you're looking for a reel to go with your catfish and carp spinning rod, I say the Sharky 3 is pretty good.
All right.
You'll see. I use that. I've been using that setup a lot, so you guys will see it. a lot in my videos, especially coming up probably for the next month or something, because I did a lot of catfishing and I've been using those setups a ton.
You use that too for because you use a lot. Once in a while, you use cut bait for, or even not just cut bait, just like worm stuff. You use it on that rod too, like night crawlers when you're
Worms?
when you're fishing for not
Carp.
worms. I guess little small cut baits. I guess you use it for like white bass and stuff.
Yeah, little pieces of cut bait.
'Cause
If I just want to dunk some small pieces of cut bait on the bottom, I'll use those setups.
Yeah, there you guys go.
Yeah.
I was looking at that too. The catfish, that one.
Catfish and carp.
Yeah, I've been looking at that rod a lot lately.
It's fun.
But like I said, I promised myself no more. I really, it looks fun. I
think-
see you catch it. I was like, God dang it, that's a cool. I have a similar rod to that, but it's not that. I could just tell the way you're using it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different from my other catfish rods. Completely
It's
way
li-
way different.
Yeah, it's lighter.
Yeah.
It's lighter. It's still got that softer. It's got like a moderate action, so it kind of bends, kind of towards the upper middle of the rod.
For sure.
'Cause you're not jigging with it. I mean, I guess you could, but I just use it to soak baits on the bottom.
I need to do that. Soak baits. Hopefully soon. I need to go catfishing. I went catfishing once this year.
I think this is my best year for catfish, like ever.
Or open water wise, sorry.
Best spring, I should say.
Damn, must be that. I need to get out there before they go deeper, right? Summertime, do they go deeper catfish or no?
They go deeper once the water warms up. They go deeper during the day,
Okay.
come up shallow during the twilight hours. When it's cold out, it's the opposite. They're deeper in the twilight hours, but they come up shallow during the day because that's the warmest part of the day. Versus summer, if the water is super warm, they kind of come up shallow when things start cooling down.
Gotcha. So hopefully, like I said, summer's approaching. I guess I can get out there early mornings or late evenings.
Yeah.
You would say.
Or at night.
Or night.
You
Night
could go after the kids go to sleep.
All right, you gonna go?
I can't stay up that late.
What the?
Unless it's the weekend.
Come on. Killing me. I don't want to go alone. I mean, I guess I could.
Kid. I don't know. I've been doing real good catfishing this spring, so.
Yeah. I'm excited though. So like I said, we have a fishing trip coming up. It's been a while since we've been at.
Hey, shh.
We said that we're going down there in the last episode.
Hey, they gotta watch that one to find out.
All right. No, what are you talking about? The last episode
Yeah.
before this podcast, we said we had Ernesto on.
Yeah, but
You know
that's a
we're-
different episode.
All right. We'll
If they want to find out where we went, they can go back
All
and
right.
listen to
New
it.
listeners or new dollars. If you listen to this one, go listen to the previous episode if you want to know what state we're in. How about that?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well,
So if they're liking what they're hearing,
Yeah, there
then
we go.
Then they'll get rewarded for going back to listening to.
Very
it.
true. Very true,
Right?
man. Yeah, go check it out, guys. It was a great episode. We had well, he said is he a fishery biologist? Fishery?
He works in
The fishery
fisheries.
division. That's what he says.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you're first time listeners, go back and listen to the previous episode right before this. We had a fish biologist in a different state from here.
Alright guys, it's Kit. I'm just jumping in here real quick. It's not going to be the previous episode because we're launching this episode 1 week earlier. So if you want to find out where we're going, stay tuned to next week's episode. Alright, back to this podcast.
Thank you for joining us at Beerfish Fanatics. And this episode is actually brought to you by Whisker Seeker Tackle.
So make sure you guys go to whiskerseeker.com for all your catfishing gear.
Enjoy the episode, guys. And gave some great info, man. I really thought he brought some good information that hopefully locals for him would appreciate, and then hopefully out of towners like us or just people who are different states. I really think we should do that, man. To get people from different states, whether it's people in the fishery business, fishery division, or just people who are great fishermen in their different states, so they can kind of give us an insight of what it's like to fish there.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to be like
No, they don't.
work in fisheries or whatever.
No, they just be anybody that fish in different states who really are knowledgeable. Because I think I mean, obviously the podcast is. I mean, just so you know, I mean, we got listeners from all over. It's just, it's beneficial for everybody to be able, like I said, I like it when we get Iowa people on because we're from Iowa. So I think I was talking to some listeners and they're like, yeah, they love it because it's information for locals.
Yeah.
So we'll try that. Guys, let us know if you guys listen from different states. Let us know if there's any other specific your area. If you're in a different state, you guys want to see where you reach out and grab somebody to get on a podcast and really help dive into your guys' local area or something. It'd be kind of cool.
We kind of had a Midwest sampler already.
Yep.
With our Iowa, or not Iowa, the Midwest Game and Fisheries Conference.
I would like to get somebody from maybe Texas and Tennessee, Arkansas, places that we don't really think, but we actually have a few listeners there. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Be
different. California. I guess we had the informative fisherman on, though. He's from California.
He's like is he the California guy?
For us.
No, I mean like just in general.
I'm pretty sure there's others. California is known for... They got some pretty big fishing people there, tournaments there.
Well, especially as far as YouTube's concerned, but
yeah, we haven't had a YouTube person in a while. That's okay though. That kind of gets redundant.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to label them as a YouTuber or whatever. Just somebody else that likes fishing.
That brings up a good question. Do you think I guess you can say if you're known as a YouTube fisherman versus as a just a really knowledgeable fisherman does that kind of get frowned upon, or I wouldn't say frowned upon. I guess does that kind of get looked down upon if you're considered a YouTube fisherman? Like, I don't know.
I don't think look down is the right terminology because someone that thinks that obviously thinks highly of themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people look up to YouTube people, or like people that do YouTube videos, especially these bigger guys. Because obviously a lot of people watch their stuff, and people are looking up to these guys. So if you look down on YouTubers, I feel like you probably think pretty highly of yourself.
Haters. They're just haters.
Or you're a hater.
They're just haters. Well, I mean, I think people, at least this... I don't know. It's hearsay.
You could hate a YouTuber for whatever reason you want to, but looking down on them is, I feel like it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Like you hate this certain YouTuber because he, I don't know, blows up spots every time or something. I mean, you could probably argue that I do that, but I try to go out of my way and not reveal too many details.
You know what? So speaking of blowing up spots, YouTubers get a bad rep. I mean, and sometimes valid.
A bad rap? Like, what do you mean?
For blowing up spots. For, a lot of local fishermen and women feel like, freaking YouTube, get out of here if you're going to record because you literally, this is my spot, go-to area.
Well, are they not doing that? I mean, they're giving us spot exposure. How much they want to reveal about that spot. Yeah. Is whatever.
It's a catch-22 because we had Jay Siemens on. Remember, he's like he wanted to bring more fisheries, more travel and what's that word I'm looking for? Tourism, right?
Yeah.
To the spot, but yet you don't want to blow up spots too. It's like, well, where do you find as a YouTuber?
Well,
where do you find the fine line? Like how. Whether you post on social media, your edit, how you edit your videos, like where do you find that fine line? Like, okay, I don't want to be, completely have all of a sudden 1,000 cars come to the spot that you fish, but yet you have also a good video because you want to showcase, hey guys, look, this is what I did, how to catch fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that really applies to us.
True, not
like. The areas we fish, Jay Siemens, he kind of promotes Canadian, mainly Manitoba fisheries, which are kind of like remote. There isn't hundreds of people out on a lake on a given day. So that's a little bit different. like versus spot A, 20 minutes down the street from my house, oh, I'm trying to promote the fishery and blah blah blah. Yeah, it doesn't really hit the same.
That's true. Very true. So then, how do you figure it out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be blowing up that spot, not just because of yourself, but also local. You know what I mean? Like, how do you find that fine line?
Don't say where I'm going. If people know where I'm at, then they know.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new to them.
Cool.
I guess you could be like, oh well, people know about this spot. They don't really go there that often, or they don't really catch fish there. And I'm catching fish there. Well, I've been fortunate enough. I've been able to buffer my videos. So if I'm on a hot bite today, you might not see it for 3 weeks or something.
Yeah. And, because it's a question, because I think I had a conversation with Spencer too. I think he's gotten, there's people who I was like, this is my spot. Well, quit filming here, or whatever the case may be. I think he's actually almost gotten threatened before. He may have gotten threatened before.
Probably. Well, he's got a lot bigger reach than, let's say, me or you.
Yeah, but I mean, for him to keep continuously creating content, he has to release the videos. I mean, he doesn't tell you where he's at either.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just like, I feel bad for the content creators, because they're just, I think in reality, just so you listeners and people who just watch YouTube and you guys, they're just creating content because they want to share their experience with you. I think, I believe at least 90% of the people, that's all they're doing. They're just trying to share their, it's not like they're trying to be YouTube famous, according to my in-laws. Nobody's trying, I'm not, I could care less. It's just that I think you're sharing your experience.
I wouldn't say nobody is trying to be YouTube famous.
I think you guys are just trying to share. At least I feel like you're just trying to share. I do. Just share my experience, and if people enjoy it, that way you can just.
If you don't want to be YouTube famous, don't make YouTube videos.
That's true too.
So I don't think I feel like nobody's doing YouTube because they don't want to be doing YouTube. Then just don't do YouTube.
But I think they do it also. Like I said, though, they just want to share the experience.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's, I mean, sometimes you just like to go look back on it, and then sometimes I think you just like to showcase.
See, if you want to look back on it on your own, just record it and don't upload.
But I think they want to showcase, like, or I just their fishing ability, not their fishing spots. I don't know, man.
See, like the incentive is, people watch your videos, and the bigger reach you have, it's more incentive. Technically, that's part of being a YouTuber, making videos so people watch your stuff.
I guess.
Like if you don't want, basically, nobody's going out there with the goal. I guess not necessarily with the goal, but you can't say that nobody's out there saying, "Oh, I don't want to be YouTube famous."
Yeah.
While I'm making YouTube videos.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that kind of, in a way, that kind of. Yeah. You're right.
Right. I'm not going to sit here and say, True. I don't want to be YouTube famous, but I put out a YouTube video every week.
No, makes sense. But, like I said, I think you do your due diligence, at least, of not blowing up the spots. I think other could use a little lesson.
From, some people, they just put it all out there.
In the titles and everything, which is fine. You do whatever the hell you want.
Which is fine, but I wish they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's fine because it's their right to do it, but I just wish they wouldn't do it. I hear you on that, because then you get a lot of traffic. And then a person like me who don't catch very often, it's just like, blah. Then I got to fight the masses to try and catch 2 fish. So.
Or, go catfishing. Catfishing is underrated.
Agreed.
People look.
I need to do that.
People feel like catfishing is beneath them, even though it is pretty popular now. Like even what Ernesto was saying, I was like, man, I can't wait to get you on a big catfish in the kayak. He's like, yeah, but I'd rather cast a jig and blah 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 instead of just sitting there and waiting. But I'll take you up on that offer.
We gotta take him. I think if you take him,
So he doesn't know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Once he starts catching catfish in the kayak, like when they just are slamming down those rods, if you don't like that, man, there's something wrong. You don't like fun,
you don't,
in my opinion.
You don't like fishing.
Or you're a bass fisherman.
All right. Bass fishermen still catfish, though, don't they? At all?
I wouldn't.
You don't think so?
Okay, bass fishermen. Do you guys go catfishing?
All right, yeah, let us know.
I bet they don't. I don't think any person that fishes for bass and goes catfishing considers themselves bass fishermen.
Really? Okay.
How many bass fishermen do you know go catfishing?
I don't know. Not many.
And I'm talking about bass fishermen. That when I say somebody is a bass fisherman, that's all they fish for. So if they're going out catching catfish too, they're not bass fishermen.
No, you're right. I think you might be right. Not many.
Right.
If there is any.
Yeah, I mean you can fish for bass and fish for catfish, but I wouldn't call you a bass fisherman.
True. Very
right?
true. Yeah, you're right on that one. That's true. Any bass fishermen? Do you guys specifically go catfishing once in a while? I'm curious about that. Or do you just predominantly just go bass fishing and then once in a while you're catfishing while you're bass fishing? That doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't think bass fishermen really do that.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if they're fishing for other stuff, I wouldn't call them bass fishermen.
True. Very true. Anything else, man? This week, guy?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it's a new way of me eating fish, but
Ooh.
I've been poaching my fish lately.
Really? How do you? What does that entail?
Just boiling it in water.
Okay, so you fillet it,
Yep.
and then you just take the fillet and just boil it.
Yep. Salt water.
Versus-
Salt water.
Do you put anything? Do you marinate it or anything?
Nope.
Or you,
Just
okay,
take the fillet,
okay.
throw it in some boiling salt water.
Boiling salt water, and then once it's fully cooked, what do you do with it?
Eat it with whatever, noodles, rice,
You don't put anything else, any seasoning or anything on it?
whatever the noodles are seasoned with, like mee goreng.
Uh-huh.
I did lettuce wraps with mee goreng and poached crappie and poached walleye. Actually,
Is it better? I mean,
it's better for you.
Well, obviously, yeah, for sure. But is it flavorful?
Crappies, you can't really taste anything. It kind of reminds me of like crab a little bit.
Like
poached
when
fish, yeah.
Oh. But if you get a tougher, meatier fish, it'd be like crab. No, I could see it. No, you're right. It's flaky, especially crab. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
It might not necessarily taste like crab, but it has like a crab-like texture to it.
Oh.
It's better for you. It's not really. I'm not really going out of my way to okay, I'm going to poach these instead of frying it. But it's just quicker too.
Is it bland?
Well, you're eating it with all that stuff, the mee goreng, and I got the sauce.
So it's just kind of a protein filler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And it's easy. You boil water, put a little salt in there, and throw the fillet in there. And you boil it for like, I don't know, 3 minutes, 4 minutes at most.
That's a new way. You're right. It's healthier for you. You don't do the typical fried.
And you don't got to worry about oil.
Yeah, anything. You just put it in water, like salt water that you said.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about oil, like the mess that comes with oil. Sure, it's not crispy. That's the downside. You don't have that crispy goodness.
The salty, crisper batter and all that stuff. No, I hear you.
But eating it with mee goreng and the sauce, that's where you're going to get your salty and savoriness.
Huh. May have to try that a little bit more too.
I did it with crappie first. I've done this in the past, so it's not really anything new to me. But I did it like 2 meals in a row, like on Thursday and Friday. I did it with crappies on Thursday, and then walleye last night.
I want our listeners, let us know, man. Because, okay, Fishing Kit says crappie don't taste like anything.
They don't.
See? I think it does. I think it has a sweeter taste on their meat than other fish. I don't know. I could be wrong. You guys...
I don't know if sweet is the word.
I wouldn't say it's like super distinct or anything like that.
Not like crab, where you get Like if you just eat crab by itself, it has a sweetness
I
to
don't know,
it.
man. I think crappie has this like it's just a little bit of a sweeter taste, and then the texture obviously it's a a little flakier. But I just for some reason I just think crappie is just a little bit sweeter. I don't know. You
Are
guys,
you
it
eating
could be
it?
just a
Are you
mind.
eating it with sweeter stuff?
No, not really. I just feel like I don't know, man. You guys tell me. So a lot of people, you guys eat crappies. A lot of people always they live and die and say crappie's the greatest eating fish. So what does it taste like? Don't just say it tastes like freaking crappies. I want to hear what you guys. I want to hear what others think. That does it taste? I think it has a little bit of a sweeter taste than like white bass. I think to me, white
Oh,
bass. Oh,
the camera.
like white bass is more like what you were saying. It's more of a plain. If you cut out the red portion of it, the veins, the red meat. Is that what you call it? The red meat, right? Red.
Yeah,
The
crappie
blood.
doesn't really have that red meat,
Yeah. So,
except for the bigger crappies. They might have a little bit,
but crappie just for some reason to me, it could be just my mind, you know, just thinking that. But I swear, I think it's a little bit sweeter.
I don't know about the sweet thing.
I don't. I mean, it's not like. Don't get me wrong. It's not like freaking sugar or anything, guys. It just has this distinct sweetness to it. I don't know.
I don't. I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
But we'll follow us because we'll do an episode when we go down to Kansas, guys. I maybe we should do some new dish, so you guys we can talk about on the podcast.
See, I think the reason why most people like crappies is because it is the least offensive when it comes to the fishy flavor. That's why I say
Agreed.
It barely tastes like anything.
I agree with you on that. It doesn't have that super fishy flavor, even after it being frozen and stuff. He's right on that. But then again, neither does bluegill. I don't think bluegill has a fishy flavor. Neither does
Maybe more than a crappie does.
You think so?
Well, to
I don't
me,
know.
it's not really that big of a difference. I like bluegills and crappies pretty much the same. It's just easier to fillet a crappie versus filleting a bluegill.
True. We'll do this though. We'll go to Kansas. I'll talk to the boss lady. See if we can do a different dish.
So, what's your favorite way to eat fish? Like if you had to pick one way,
If I
to
can only
eat
have
fish.
one way to eat fish
Yeah.
for the rest of my life, one way only.
Yeah, you just got to pick one. How
Wow.
about one and then a close second?
All right. If I had only one way for the rest of my life to eat the fish, it would have to be the way my mom makes catfish. Her catfish soup. What it is
So catfish is your number one fish then?
No, if I had to eat the rest of my life,
Yeah, so catfish
I wouldn't
would
say
be your
it's
number one fish.
golly. I wouldn't say
You
that.
can't say crappie's your favorite, but if you could only eat fish for the
because
rest of your life, it'll be a catfish in this specific
Yeah.
dish. Can you?
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, okay,
That catfish soup is pretty good.
that's what I'm saying. And if I had to only eat fish a specific way for the rest of my life, it would be that way. If I still think you asked me like, what's the best tasting? But then again, that tastes damn good too. I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe your favorite's catfish.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess catfish this way is your favorite way of eating any fish. But if you're just eating fish in general,
I
you'd
would say
rather have
I
a
would say fried crappie, or even if it wasn't even fried crappie, like the whole crappie, like the whole body, and just take the innards out, whatever. And then it's simplistic. Obviously, get the scales out. You scale it out, right? Just slice it up a little bit. Put it over like a bonfire. Put it over like charcoal. Put a little bit salt, a little bit black pepper. Killer. And they just eat it with a little bit sticky rice.
I think filleting a fish is simpler than that.
No, it's simpler. but if we were like just camping, I don't know, something about the campfire, something about the charcoal, or whatever the wood fire's going on, and then if you have I'm telling you, if you get crappie, just the whole body, just get the guts and innards out, scale it, just slice it, and then you just put a little black pepper, a little salt, something about the wood fire. And
Is that
then
number two then?
man, it might be close to number one. I just love the catfish soup because I was just born and raised with it.
Yeah.
And
It's
it,
pretty
and
good.
it's just wholesome to me, eating with a sticky rice and stuff. But that, like, I'm telling you, the catfish over a bonfire with a little bit of salt and
You mean
black pepper.
crappie over the bonfire.
Crappie, yeah. I mean, that to me, I don't know. It just nostalgic maybe because I'm camping and just do that. And some reason it tastes damn good, but I don't know. But other than that, I mean, because that fillet and batter and all that fry, I mean, it's good, but gets overdone. I don't know. It's not.
Flayed, battered, fried. Yeah, it's a classic.
It's a classic. You can't go. I mean, it can't go wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with that.
No.
Like if somebody like, how do you want this fish? I'm gonna fry it. You wouldn't see me saying no, don't fry it. Yeah, don't fillet it and fry it. I'm like, yeah, bring it on.
But this year, I might do follow my pot fishing. I might do a popping to. So with the herbs and everything, my wife wants it. My wife wants to show because this is how I like it too. I'm gonna get a wiper, so don't get hated. Don't hate on me when I get a nice size wiper and eating this. It won't be a 10-pounder. Relax, sunshine.
5-pounder.
Yeah, it might be a 5-pounder. I'm not gonna lie. It feeds the family.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But I'll show
You
you
gotta
guys.
catch it first.
I gotta
Don't
catch
ask me for a
Oh, here we go.
5-pounder.
Jeez. But I'll show you guys. It's a pretty unique dish. I love it. It's a lot of herbs and everything. So, I'm excited. Man,
So what is it? You bake a fish, stuff it with herbs.
yeah. So you clean the fish, you gut it and everything. Typically a large white bass or a wiper would be ideal.
Do you
to use.
scale it too?
No, you don't have to. Because you're not eating the skin. So this is what happens. So you gut the fish and everything, and then you put all these greens and herbs and everything inside of the body, and you bake it, like you're just saying, right? And you bake it, and then you're not eating the skin. So I mean, you scale it. It's up to you. You just waste your time because what you do is once it's done baked, after about like 45 minutes or whatever the case may be, then you just peel because I mean the skin just peels off with the scales, and then you eat all the meat. And then you can eat the meat different ways with the herbs. I mix it in with the herbs. You can eat it with sticky rice. You can even technically even eat it in a wrap. But the thing is, the herbs might be overpowering if you eat it in a wrap or you know what I'm saying?
You think so?
It can be.
Isn't that the point of the herbs though?
But that's why I only eat it with I eat it with like sticky rice.
You don't put it in a wrap?
Well, you can, but then there's mum sauce. You dip it. It's just to me, it's just too much going on.
Really?
You can do it. I've done it. It's just not my favorite way to eat it that way.
So how do you eat it then? Just
I would eat it with sticky rice. I would
just
okay.
the plain fish that you
Plain
bake.
fish with all those green herbs and everything. I'll have to get the spices for everybody on this one. But so I take the meat, I scrape it onto whatever, put it on my plate, and then put the herbs onto my plate, and then I get sticky rice on the side, and I just eat it with it. It's wholesome.
So the herbs that were in the cavity of the fish,
Yes.
you'd eat that too.
Alongside with the meat, yes. I do. A lot of people might be like, holy cow, it's over. Might be too much, but I do. Because I love that green stuff. That's the best part, man.
You're saying putting the fish in a wrap is going to be too strong with herbs, but then the way you're eating it, you're eating straight up the herbs.
Yes. Because to me, when you do a fish wrap, like spring roll style, I like the fish to kind of be the flavor of it a little plainer. I like it with just like black pepper, salt, and maybe a little bit of garlic, or and maybe lemongrass, and that's about it. And then because I want it to be a little bland, honestly, when I do a fish wrap, because I love the Nook Mum sauce, the dipping sauce taste.
Yeah.
I want that to be a little bit more overpowering than all the herbs for bopping to. That's me. That's just a personal preference. Other people might be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But personal
I
preference.
feel like you could barely taste the herbs in the meat itself when you stick it in the cavity.
Really?
That's what I feel.
All right, you could come eat with my. Okay, I'll have my mom do it, and then you can taste it, and you'll be like, "Okay,
Like maybe the meat around the cavity, yes, you'll really taste the herbs. But like, let's say the back strap of a white
I
bass.
guess, but like I said, when I eat it that way, I eat it all together.
Yeah,
In sticky rice.
see.
So I guess I mean possibly I've never done it that way, but yeah, I guess you might be right on that.
That's why I'm saying I don't see why it would make a difference if you put it in a lettuce wrap or not.
It,
Unless you're throwing the herbs in the lettuce wrap, then yeah, I can see
Yeah.
the herbs being overpowering.
it's possible. It's I don't know. Maybe I ate the meat too close to it. I don't know. It just overpowered it to me.
That's why I don't know. But like when the OGs do it, they don't got nothing.
Yeah, but that gets a little fishy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying I do it.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I've had their like if they cleaned it, I think they would understand that it tastes way better.
Yeah,
But-
this might put off the American palate. And I'll just be blunt. I mean, I don't even like I'm far removed from the American palate, but I would say even for me, it's too much for me. But basically, they throw the fish on a grill, not gutted, not scaled, everything, the whole fish. Basically, you catch it, throw it on a grill, throw salt, black pepper on it, guts in and everything. See, that's the way the OGs do.
yeah, I mean, you gotta gut it, man. Yeah, because you've tasted gutted and you tasted ungutted. Which one tastes? You know what I'm saying? You've tasted the difference. So it's like,
See, the thing is, this is gonna sound weird to like the American palate. They like the bitterness of the innards, right?
No, you're right.
Like your grandma or my grandma or whatever. They like that bitterness to it.
yeah.
Because
Well,
I think they equate. Well, no, they just like bitter,
no, you're right.
right?
No, you're definitely right on
So,
that. It's a different taste for sure.
I bet somebody that's never heard of that, like
They
I'm
like
generalizing here, but the typical American person, if they hear that they're listening to this, like, oh, they're probably like, oh my god, what the? I don't eat it that way. But yeah,
yeah. We'll have to. No, you're right. I think they do like it. I think they enjoy.
they like the bitterness.
Yeah, it's not for me. Sorry. Maybe one day we'll have to talk to you
But-
guys about.
They gotta but everyone's gotta consider where our OGs come from. Basically, our older generation is what I'm talking about.
Very true.
We basically come from a third world country,
Yeah.
and they can't run down a Hy-Vee and buy pounds and pounds of meat. Basically, whatever proteins they got, they're eating, and you want to talk about not wasting fish. People will be like complaining, I get all the meat off this filleted fish. You showed that to one of our older generations. You wasted so much fish.
Very true.
Like you gutted it, you filleted it. Like you've wasted so much fish. You left so much on the table.
I still get yelled at once in a while. My mom sees, but she got over it because my girls, it's just bones and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom, when I used to fillet for the girl, she goes, "What the hell? You look at all that meat, you just throw it away." Yeah, I used to get that.
Yeah, you could be
it's just-
the best filleter on earth. You
Yeah.
give it to like a Lao or Tai Dum grandma.
Very
She'd
true.
be like, "You're wasted meat right there."
It's just different generations, man.
Different culture.
Different cultures. Well, for sure on that, man. That's fun. We should one day mum. You like mum?
What is that exactly?
Oh, it's like fermented fish dip.
Oh, see, I don't know.
It could-
Is it like kind of like badak or what?
No, but that's a little bit different. So it's kind of like okay, I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm gonna have to find out for sure. It's like almost like they use I wouldn't say minnows, like that little small fish, and it's like and they ferment it and it's like a dip,
It's basically badak then.
kinda, but not. Hold
But
on,
not
man.
as saucy, right? Not like
It's
not-
saucy, but it's not like that. It's not that potent. Oh, it's pretty potent. Hold on, man.
See?
Hold on, it's pretty potent. I'm trying to read. I might have to read. Hold on, let me.
Is it like liquidy?
It can be.
See.
It can be. So it depends on who makes it, and it's
But it's not like a sauce though, right?
Well, it's a dipping sauce with sticky rice.
But it's not like a badak where it's just
no.
liquid.
So I think that's the biggest difference. It's not like it's not processed for sure. Because badak is processed. This like mum is homemade dipping sauce, and it's like
badak is homemade.
It can be, but this is like it's man. All right, next
basically a fermented fish dipping sauce.
I think so. It is dope, dude. I don't know, man. Here we go. Weird taste buds.
The American palate people are like, oh my god, this sounds disgusting.
But I don't know, man. I love it. It's good. Not too much of it.
I don't really eat it, so I can't really say for sure.
I'll get some.
But
I'll find out how to make it.
Badak, the funky stuff. You guys watch some of my videos. Unfiltered fish sauce, fermented fish. I'll eat that.
We just lost like all the listeners at this moment. Like, what the hell?
On its own, it's pretty disgusting when you think about it.
Yeah. Have you ever just tasted it?
Yeah, but when you like make thumb and you slurp the juice, you're basically slurping badak.
A little bit, and then just
with other stuff.
Yeah, with the other juices. Yeah. No,
but for some reason, this one funky thing with a couple other funky things, when they come together, man, it's like so good. Papaya salad. Have you guys ever had papaya salad, cucumber salad, or South Laotian Thai style? It's just a bunch of funky stuff put together.
And it works.
And when it comes together, it's like, oh my god, so good. I actually ate some before we did this podcast.
Jesus.
I made cucumber salad yesterday with fried walleye. Pretty damn good. And I made fried rice with andouille sausage today. Finished the cucumber salad.
Chef Kit over here.
It was pretty good.
Thanks for the invite, man.
See, but I'm like shy about making it for other people.
Oh my god!
Because everybody, has their preferences.
Man,
but I don't know. I think it was pretty legit.
Then if that's legit, then you gotta do it in Kansas. Oh shit! I'm putting you on the spot. I think you should make it on Kansas and
just need fish sauce, unfiltered fish sauce.
There you go. We'll do it.
Gabit shrimp paste, another funky thing.
You bring it, and then obviously we'll catch the fish, and then we can eat it. Yeah, we can eat it during the podcast. We were talking about that already. We should be eating this fish during the podcast. We'll talk with Ryan, but he won't be there. But we could do that.
I think, the salads, the fermented sauce salad stuff. I feel like it'd be hard for a lot of people.
It's a distinct taste.
But the thing is, when people once you acquire a taste for it,
it's an acquired taste.
Oh
for sure.
Man, it's like so good.
It's an acquired taste. You're right. It's like an acquired taste. But one thing I highly recommend, everybody go eat sticky rice. If you haven't had that yet, you guys still have to do it.
So yeah, we gotta make it happen with Ryan, right?
Yeah,
sticky rice thing.
Sticky rice, and even what else did we say we're gonna do for him?
Mee goreng.
Oh yeah. We'll do that for him. But other than that, man, if you guys aren't hungry, we're hungry. I'm hungry.
Well, I ate right before this podcast. Andouille sausage fried rice and cucumber salad. It was pretty good. I'm probably gonna go to the bathroom in the morning, but that's all right.
Here we go. Other than that, stay tuned. Check out his channel, guys. Get Fishing Kit's channel up to 2,000 subs. He wants to be YouTube famous, so get his ass up there.
Yeah.
Check My About Fishing out. I know I haven't posted. Hopefully, I'm going to be posting some shorter videos. We'll see what I can do. And we'll just keep pumping up these episodes. Let us know. Any interests, whatever you guys want us to talk about, interview. Once in a while, just meet him is cool. And we've been having a bunch of our buddies on, too, so it's been pretty fun. If you guys like those types of things, too, let us know.
I like doing those. I'm going to do it. I feel like we should do it regardless, whether people like it or not. I think if we're having a good time,
yeah, for sure,
people are gonna enjoy it anyway. Yeah, regardless.
If you guys enjoy just us and a couple of our buddies, I enjoy it. I know he does too. So we just keeping it a little bit different, keeping it fun, guys. But we definitely appreciate you guys listening to us. If you first time listener, or if you guys just go check out our other episodes, man. We had some pretty amazing guests and some stupid idiotic moments by me here and there, and it is what it is.
You know, we never talk about my favorite way. If I
What
had
do
to have one way to
Oh
eat
shit!
fish.
Yeah. Okay. Before we leave, what's your favorite way to eat fish? One way only.
One way only.
The rest of your life.
The rest of my life. Oh man. I think it fried with like cucumber salad or papaya salad.
Like a wrap, kind of.
No. Fried with tamak or tamakung.
Really?
Yeah. That's probably my number one.
Like fried as in filleted, battered fried?
Doesn't
or
matter.
Is it, oh, it doesn't matter? Okay.
But if I was frying it, I'd fillet it.
I gotcha. Nah.
But fried with that side dish.
Can't go wrong
Like,
with it.
it doesn't really matter what kind of fish it is. Doesn't matter. You know, I don't really go out of my. I don't really fry whole fish anymore. But if it's there, and it's got papaya salad, you know I'm eating it. Or cucumber salad, or mango salad.
All right, so so ladies, you guys listen to this. The way to a kid's heart is fried fish and papaya salad, dude.
It can be fried anything. Fried chicken, fried ribs.
Dude, telling you guys, no, you're right on that. No, fried chicken, fried ribs with papaya salad and sticky rice. Holy shit!
That is the like.
It's pretty. It's bomb.
That's the holy Laotian trinity right there.
Yeah, you got me a little hungry. I'm not gonna lie. So it's all good.
About to make some more papaya or cucumber salad tomorrow.
There you guys go. Oh man, too much fun. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Follow us, and till next time.
Yeah, let us know what would be your number one way of eating fish.
For sure, let us know.
All right, see you guys.